Construction waste. You might be surprised that up to half the waste in New Zealand's landfill may come from construction and demolition sites. The good news is, a lot of that can be cut down through recycling or reusing. That keeps builders' costs down, and it proves your project is better for the environment, which can be important if you're going for a Homestar rating. This series will give you clear steps and strategies to manage waste on site. In this first video, we'll cover the key steps to reduce waste. Our next video will show you a real-life project with Keola Homes putting it into practice on site.
We've been able to save money by actually implementing a waste minimisation program by keeping it simple, recycling it ourselves and doing away with the skip bin is how we've saved money. Statistically, they tell me that 50% of the material that goes to landfill in New Zealand is construction material. We've proven that you can reduce that by 95% and actually save money doing it. We are getting really good feedback from the end user, from the people actually buying the homes. They love it, they love the thought process. It's a fantastic feel-good factor. That's part of the buy-in from everybody that's worked with us. Everybody feels the same way.
Construction waste is a big issue in Auckland. Auckland Council's got a legislative objective to manage effective and efficient management of all wastes in the region. So a big part of those wastes is C&D waste. If we don't address the waste situation, the future will look very different to today. With rising costs of building materials, reduced availability in landfills, the price of construction is only going to increase.
As part of our overall sustainable building approach or developing approach, we've chosen to use Homestar as our scientific rating tool. So the waste minimisation savings or benefits that we get actually give us good points to our overall rating.
So Homestar is a comprehensive environmental rating tool for New Zealand homes. It's specifically designed for New Zealand homes, but it's based on lots of research from overseas tools that have been in use for quite some time. Homestar encompasses a range of topics as an environmental rating tool. One of the big ones is energy and performance of the home in terms of comfort and health, but it also looks at waste, at water, and at the wider environmental impact of that construction. Waste minimisations can be quite important because it can be up to about 10% of the 60 points required to get a 6 Homestar. So there are two main waste credits. One is having a construction or site waste management plan. And the easiest way to do that is to use a Rebri template, which you can get freely from Brand's website or from the Homestar website. And then the second credit is achieving the goals that you set in that waste management plan. And that can be done either through diverting construction waste or minimising the actual waste that you produce.
Let's have a look now at the steps that you need to take to cut down the waste you send to landfill.
This site is a very small site. It's only 336 square metres. We're building a house of about 154 square metres on it. Two-storey house, very compact, on a very small footprint.
There are 3 key steps you should follow to manage your site waste effectively. Step 1. Work out the types of waste likely to be generated and how much there will be of each type. Step 2. Make a plan for how each type of waste will be dealt with. Can it be reduced, reused or recycled? Or does it have to go to landfill? The 3 R's work in a hierarchy. It's better to reuse than recycle, and it's better to recycle than send to landfill. Of course, the best thing is to produce less waste in the first place. Reuse where you can. Reuse materials that are offcuts, leftovers from other sites or that you salvage from demolition. Recycle. Got anything left over or no longer useful? Can it be recycled? Sort and separate materials that can be reprocessed and turned into something else. Items that are recycled are usually sent to a materials recovery facility. Disposal. All other materials should be disposed of safely. Step 3. Make sure that your plan is followed. Talk over the options with your waste management company, as the location of your site will dictate how much the different forms of waste collection will cost. Every site is different, but the process is always the same.
A standard residential building project would have between 3 and 4 9-metre gantry bins. These are usually taken off-site and taken to a transfer station or a general landfill.
First, you need to work out what types of waste there will be and how you can dispose of it. Plasterboard can be crushed and recycled as gypsum or fertiliser. Treated wood offcuts are reused or sent to landfill, but untreated wood can be recycled or reused. Glass and metals from the site are recyclable or, if in good condition, can be reused. Rubble and rock is sent to clean fill, while insulation is reused or recycled. Packaging like cardboard, polystyrene and plastic can be recycled, but it's much better to try to reduce the amount of packaging in the first place. Have a talk to your product manufacturers about reducing their packaging, or ask them to put a packaging return system in place. Interior finishes like paints or adhesives can be reused, but remember, if they are hazardous, they must be sent to landfill to be safely disposed of. Some companies have a take-back scheme for paint and containers. Ask your supplier what the options are for their product. You should keep soil and plant waste on site and replace it at the end of the build so that the site doesn't lose all the nutrients they contain. And lastly, your drink bottles and food containers should also be recycled. Want more information about where waste can go? The brand's website gives you more details of how the different wastes can be managed. A Homestar practitioner or Homestar assessor can also help you with your plan. You'll find a list of Homestar professionals on the New Zealand Green Building Council website. When you are making your waste minimisation plan, there are some important questions that need to be decided. Things like, what are the targets for waste reduction? What can be reused, recycled or recovered? Will you sort on or off-site? How will the size of the site affect the waste management? Who is responsible for what, and how will you make sure the plan is followed? There will need to be a discussion around communicating your plan to the lead builder and subcontractors to ensure they stick to plan. You will need to specify in your contract with your waste company a system for recording waste volume and dispersal. You will also need to communicate this plan to your subcontractors and write a clause into their contracts to ensure they understand and comply with the process.
The best advice I could give is keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, and there are groups out there that are willing to help and facilitate some of the thought process, but we've proven you can do it very simply.
To get your Homestar points, you will need to show that you've done these things. Defined what the contractor will be responsible for. Sorted out what you're going to do to reduce waste on your site. Worked out the types of waste that you will have and how you're going to deal with them. Worked out where and how new materials will be stored on site. Set up a system to record the data around how your waste is collected and how much has been reused or recycled. Your contract with the waste management company should specify the data that must be recorded in order to gain these points. You can see that the planning process is a really important part of waste minimisation, but then you have to make it work. In the next video, you will see how Keola Homes went about putting a waste management plan into action. For more information about planning for waste minimisation, visit the brand's website. For all other information, go to the New Zealand Green Building Council website.